This is Q&A episode 1 with Charles, where the fans have submitted some questions for the godfather of bodybuilding himself. What are your thoughts on keto diets for bodybuilding?
If that's what you believe in, then no one should try to turn you against it. But I've never seen a person who's in the keto diet really have gained a lot of muscle because you're putting in too many fats to compensate for the amount of calories you're not getting from the meat.
So none of your top clients have ever done it to get to the top?
No. You know, you have people who's at the top that try it, you know, and then they don't succeed as far because why? They're not getting enough nutrients.
Do you find that your clients need carbs to perform and to get a pump so that they don't get flat?
The thing with it is, you in order to get full, you need what? Carbohydrates to get that full round look. And you can do a combination of keto and carbs, then you get a better pump.
What's your preferred method of cardio?
My preferred method is when you're utilizing the whole body. So I like doing the treadmill and the incline so I can get my whole body into the movement. You're using your arms, using your hips, everything just swaying with movement. Whereas you do most of the time you see people doing what? Propping their body against the machine, relaxing, not doing it right. But if you do the cardio right and you're making the body move, you burn more calories.
Do you prefer it fasted or post-workout?
I like it post-workout, reason being, because if you train hard and quick like you should do, without long breaks in between, you take up all the glycogen that's in the body anyway. So now you get to burn fat faster.
Do you have like a prescribed heart rate that you generally like to give to a client?
I can't because everybody's individual. You get what suits that client per se.
Is it possible for someone to gain muscle and lose fat at the same time?
It's not impossible, but it's hard. Simply because if you're trying to lose the weight, you're not trying to put on the muscle. You're not going to be able to put the muscle on. If you want muscle on your body, you got to gain some kind of fat with it. You know, you're not going to just start putting on muscle. No, you got to put on fat, got to work with that for a while, and then next thing you know, your body starts producing a lot more muscle.
I noticed back when you were competing, you're one of the few guys that would not get sloppy in your off season. You're one of the first proponents that you should never really get above 10%. Do you try to stay lean year round, your people?
Well, I tried. Well, you understand, back when I was competing, I had a full-time job. I couldn't afford to get fat and sloppy because I had to work, you know? But I did get heavy at one point, and it almost killed me. I tried to walk the stairs just to see what it felt like. And it proved to me that I had to get my weight back down. So I didn't try too long.
How long do you typically have clients rest between sets?
It just depends on the individual.
You cut them a little more slack on leg day?
Yeah, they're breathing harder, yeah. And I try to kill them when we're doing legs.
I noticed you do not prescribe full deadlifts from the floor, and you've said that it makes the waist thick. Can you explain how it makes the waist thick?
Think of this, you're breathing real hard, and you're lifting. What are you doing? You're breathing in and out, in and out, in and out, right? You're not breathing from your diaphragm where you're lifting your body up and going down. You're just breathing from the stomach. And eventually, you're going to start to expand from the hips because all that pressure goes into the bottom part of the body. And your waist get thicker and thicker. Once you start to create those obliques, they don't go away.
So do you not have clients train obliques?
No, why? Why would I train? I mean, I'll work the obliques without weight because I don't want that thick oblique there. That doesn't look good on your body.
Do you find that poor back development is a technique issue, or a lot of people try to say, oh, it's because my insertions are too high?
I think you just don't train it properly. If you train your back properly, you can change that back no matter what you have. Your insertion may be a little high, but you can build muscle around it that looks good.
What are your guidelines on calves? What are your tips or secrets that can help people out on calf muscles?
Pound, pound, pound. You got to really work those calves. And people fail to understand, we utilize our calves quite a bit while we're walking and everything else, so you got to really train it. I mean, I have heavy days, medium days. I never go light, but I have high rep days where I can do a medium weight, but get some good reps, and it pays off.
So range of motion, I found when you showed me
it.
A lot of guys short step it. They don't realize they have to do a complete
You
rep.
gotta stretch all the way down and extend, and then extend up into the calf to make them grow.
Why do you do hamstrings on their own day? A lot of people seem to do hams and quads together, but I noticed you split them up.
Most times people do hams and quads together. Why? Because they're short on time. So you don't have enough time in the day. You're a family member. You got to go and take care of the kids. Whatever you got to do, as long as you get it in. But I like to separate it so I can really focus on the hamstrings, and I try to work those hams hard to get them to develop.
Well, I've noticed if I do a quad session with you, there's no energy left to hit the hamstrings. So it seems like if you're doing quads properly, you're not going to have much gas left.
Yeah. Well,
to do a whole another 12 to 16 sets.
Some people don't like. They just rather do it separate. So you want to be in the gym, say for an hour and 10, rather than 2 hours. So it's your preference.
Do you think that the typical workout should be under an hour? Ideally?
I think it should be right about an hour, and that's it. Because once you start going over there, you start burning up muscle again. Because why? You're hungry again. You got to feed the body.
Yeah, how do you like to break up do you go 50% protein, 30 carbs, 20 fat?
It just depends on the person, what they like. What's your blood type? If my blood type's I'm a meat eater, so I eat a lot of protein. I eat a lot of meat. I used to eat a lot of meat, which is bad in a sense, because why? You never know what your body's gonna happen. Well, you never know what's gonna happen to your body when you're eating too much protein.
So, Mr. Charles, how did blood work really help with the person determine of the weight?
It just shows you what your body can digest.
You're a believer in the book, Eat Right for Your Type?
Eat right for your blood type, yeah.
I think O's are supposed to have more beef, A's are white meat.
Right.
That concludes our questions of the week. Continue to submit them. If you got any good questions, we'll shoot them by Charles and see if he can help you guys at home.
So don't forget to check out what?
Oh, don't forget to check out godfatherbodybuilding.com. Yeah, if I wanted to bring up a weak body part, like my front delts, do you think I should add extra exercises to target it?
The thing of it is, you're always hitting front delts. Why? When you do a press, you're hitting a lot of front delt, right? So when you're doing a front delt movement, so you're hitting it twice.
Okay.
Now, you don't want to overwork it, but you want to hit it just enough so it grows.
So
if you do chest, what do you hit? A lot of front delt.
So what do you tell a guy who's got too much bicep in comparison to his tricep? Do you have him add one extra tri movement? How do you get around that?
No, I don't. I assess what they have, and then I put heavier weight on the tricep. We go a little heavier on that. I do reverse type tricep movements. I'll do push down reverse. I'll do skull crushers. I'll do kickouts. But when I do the kickouts, what I normally do with dumbbells, and I twist at the top. Twist at the top. Why? Because I'm putting more stress on there. Put more blood into that muscle.
That's what pushes. Where it's at. Yeah. Yeah. Where it's at.
Catch him.